now halfway home in the Hooters Pro Cup Championship Series. Drivers and teams battling for every spot like it's the last lap of the season. When the smoke cleared at Mansfield, Clay Rogers reigns supreme, his second win in the first 3 races. Now will the South Tour champion use the home field advantage and make it a trifecta? The Hooters Pro Cup Championship Series heads to the Grand Strand at Myrtle Beach Speedway. Next. Welcome to Myrtle Beach Speedway, round 4 of the USAR Hooters Pro Cup National Championship Series in 2006. Coverage of the Mark Brooks Memorial BiLo 250, presented by Black's Tire and Auto Service. Hello again, everyone. I'm Rick Benjamin with Scott Sutherland, and Stephen Cox will be on pit road for us tonight. Lots of things happening, as always, here at Myrtle Beach Speedway as we get set to go racing this evening. The folks at Aaron's contributing $1,007 to the fight against breast cancer, the Susan G. Komen Breast Cancer Foundation. The family of Robert Brooks and Mark Brooks here to accept honors tonight and to remember their fallen family members. And a moment of silence for Bob Brooks earlier this evening. Well, there are 3 races to go to settle the championship here in 2006. Clay Rogers has a big lead, but our colleague Gene Crane breaks down the points and the money that's at stake here tonight.
Clay Rogers increases his point advantage over Shelby Howard to 103. However, when you look at the difference between third place Woody Howard and 20th position Wayne Willard, there's a lot of intense competition with only a 91-point difference. There's a tie and a whole bunch of single-digit point spreads throughout the top 20. The reason is the championship point fund. More than $1 million up for grabs in the championship series, and for some of the racers from 10th to 20th, they could double, triple, or maybe even quadruple their earnings with some good runs in the final 3 races. One thing is for certain, it's going to make for a wild night here at Myrtle Beach.
Well, it always is a wild night at this half-mile racetrack that's very abrasive. Handling will be at a premium. Time for the command to fire the motors tonight at Myrtle Beach.
Drivers, start your engines!
Members of the Brooks family representing Black's Tire and Auto Service Centers, giving the command to fire the 37 motors. Cars getting set to roll off here at Myrtle Beach Speedway in the BiLo 250. Lots of money at stake, Scott Sutherland. The championship prize of $200,000 within Clay Rogers' grasp here tonight.
Well, drivers really don't need a big incentive, but it sure makes it nice for the teams and car owners. When you look at the amount of money out here, these drivers are going to work extra hard.
Well, Joey Logano claims the pole here at Myrtle Beach Speedway. He's our Advanced Auto Parts Pole Award winner. Stephen caught up with him earlier.
Joey Logano wins the Advanced Auto Parts Pole Sitter Award, and he did it with the second engine of the day. So, Joey, you tell me the story of your afternoon.
Well, we've definitely had a wild afternoon for sure. Practice got cut kind of short for us. We had a little motor issue, and team did a great job changing the motor and got it out there and set it on the pole. So, so far, so good. You know, crew chief did a good job getting it real good, real quick. So, we'll just have to see what happens tonight. You know, have to really save tires and all. So, we'll see what happens.
What an amazing afternoon. They had to replace an engine, get that car back out on the racetrack in time for qualifying, and to set on the pole, his very first one. We're going to see a bunch out of this kid in time to come.
Now the Joe Gibbs Racing Oil Chevrolet, the 51 car, will lead the field to green tonight here at Myrtle Beach Speedway, a place where handling is oh so important. Now it's a little bit overcast and got a little bit of a fog here. It was warm during the day, going to be much cooler by the time we put the field in motion here tonight. There was rain here earlier in the weekend. No rain in the forecast, though, tonight. Let's have a look at our Pepsi weather forecast as we get set to go green for 250 laps here at Myrtle Beach Speedway. Still pretty warm.
61 degrees, but that temperature's going to start going down. The racetrack, you already said it is abrasive. The dew's going to come out a little bit, make it a little bit extra slick. These guys really had to pay attention to the tires on the car and the way the car's handling.
Missing man formation up front in honor of Robert H. Brooks, the Worldwide Wing Commander, the CEO of Hooters of America. Getting set to get started tonight, the USAR Hooters Pro Cup cars in the Championship Series, the 4th of 6 races. And it's time to check the starting lineup for the Mark Brooks Memorial BiLo 250 here at Myrtle Beach Speedway. Our naturally fresh starting lineup Joey Logano on the pole in the 51. That's the Joe Gibbs Oil car. Clay Rogers, the points leader in the Automotive Development Group Ford. Second row, Jeff Agnew in the Mark IV Honda Ford and Gary St. Amant in the Jakes.com Chevrolet. Row number 3, Jay Fogelman in the Grease Lightning Ford and Danji Hannaford in the Mack Hill Chevrolet. And in the fourth row tonight, starting 7th, Michael Rich in the Jackaroo Meat Sauces Ford Fusion, alongside Bobby Gill, 3-time series champ in the USG Sheetrock 06. Row 5, the Dean Motorsports Chevy of Woody Howard and Johnny Rumley in the Champion Chevrolet. In the 6th row tonight, Ken Butler III in the Aaron's Dream Machine and Kirk Leone in the Percy Johnson Grading Ford. He's from North Carolina. Number 7, Justin Hobgood in the Naturally Fresh Foods Ford. That's car number 16. Shane Wallace in the Wallace Construction Ford. That's car number 38. The 8th row, Jack Bailey and Randy Humphreys, 93, the Ferguson Waterworks entry. Jody Lavender in the H&R Block Ford. He is from South Carolina. The 9th row, Chase Pistone returns in the Titan Industrial 03. And Jeff Foltz in the CNC Boiler Pontiac. That's car number 54. Row number 10, Trevor Bain from Knoxville, Tennessee in the McDonald's Ford. And Wayne Willard in the Bowen Family Homes car. That's the 01. The 11th row, Matt Carter, the RipkenExperience.com Ford. And Sam Falone from upstate New York in the Piero's Vegetables Chevrolet. 12th row, defending series champ Benny Gordon from Dubois, Pennsylvania, the Predator Performance Ford. And Derek Cale in the 22, the Heritage Equipment car. 13th row, J.J. Pack in the UMG Financial entry. Don Satterfield in the Hawk Saw Blades Pontiac starts 26th. In the 14th row, Mark Nesbitt in the ConstructionJobs.com Ford. And Tim Bainey Jr. in the Grease Lightning entry. That's a North Core car. In the 15th row, Daniel Johnson. That is the BiLo Pontiac and Marty Lindley, the Black's Tire and Auto Service Ford, car number 22. In the 16th row, Lonnie Rush Jr. races out of Mooresville, North Carolina, the Levitt Racing Components car, and Andrew Rogers from Indian Trail, North Carolina, the Aaron's Turbador entry. Mike Herman starts 33rd in the Fireside Hearth and Homes 34. A.J. Frank in the 11th car. That is the Ohio Tech College entry. Mike Mason in the Awesome Awnings Ford lines up alongside Michelle Ferriold in the Team Block Ford. And shotgun on the field tonight, Shelby Howard in the Speedco Truck Loops Pontiac. He'll start in 37th position. And Scott, several of our drivers are going to have to drop to the rear for the start.
I'll say several. How about Hobgood, Pistone, Cale, Mike Herman, all for various infractions, working on the car, missing meetings. And the 20 car, Shelby Howard, because he was at a previous engagement. And we'll get into that a little bit later.
He's already been racing here once today in the Speedco 20. The Tony Stewart car starts 37th. One of our onboard cameras, the Lucas Oil onboard camera, will ride with Shelby Howard tonight. Marty Lindley, twice the winner this year, carries one of our cameras in the Black's Tire and Auto 22 South. Marty won the season opener earlier this year. Good starting spot for Michael Rich in the Jackaroo Meat Sauces car.
Excellent qualifying run from Michael Rich. We really haven't seen that from him. And right in front of him is Jay Fogelman. Now you're looking back at Michael Rich.
That's the view that Jay wants to leave the rest of the field with. He starts in the 3rd row here tonight. All right, Stephen Cox, what about Ken Butler? He's got our camera on board tonight from 11th.
Keep an eye on Ken Butler III tonight. The Aaron's crew fought that car all day long in practice trying to free it up. Well, they finally made a couple of changes that really worked, including air pressure in the rear tires. So Ken Butler III got handed the wheel and said, go qualify, and he went out and nailed down an 11th place starting position, and that is far and away his best qualifying position since last May at Indianapolis. So if you want a dark horse to put your money on tonight, try Ken Butler III.
Now that team's been improving, and they will have, of course, onboard cameras as Ken works that Michael Waltrip Pontiac up through the field. And, you know, Lucky Dog thought he was going to get a shot to drive that car earlier today.
He's going to have a better driving suit than that one he's got on right now.
Might have a little problem fitting through the window of that Michael Waltrip Motorsports Pontiac, but the Aaron's Lucky Dog on hand here tonight. One lap till we go green. Show us our Aaron's race strategy there, Mr. Sutherland.
Well, our Aaron's race strategy looks something like this. His tire management, they get 12 tires here tonight. Got to use them in the right places. Pit window is going to be somewhere between 70 and 100 on your first stop. Your second one, 170, 200. You want to wait as late as you can to get that second set of tires, and you better make all your adjustments. Well, you want to talk to your crew chief when you're on older tires, not when you're on brand new ones, because you're going to feel like Superman then.
Well, those BF Goodrich G-Force Racing radials will be put to the test tonight here at Myrtle Beach Speedway by the 37 teams about to do battle in the BiLo 250. We are glad to have you with us. 4th of 6 championship races this season. John Anderson from BiLo of Myrtle Beach waves the green flag, and we're underway. Clay Rogers and Joey Logano from the front row, and Clay Rogers, the championship leader, jumps to the early lead. Gary St. Amant on the outside, battling for third spot. Marty Lindley started 30th tonight in the Black's Tire and Auto Service 22 South. Battling there with Daniel Johnson in the BiLo Atlantic Coast Resorts Pontiac, the 3-car. And Johnson pulls past Lindley. Michael Rich, meantime, in the Jackaroo Meat Sauce's car, trying to chase down Jay Fogelman. Here comes Bobby Gill in that USG Sheetrock Ford. Right in front of Danji Hannaford in the Mack Hill Chevrolet.
I don't know how many years I've been watching Bobby Gill come to this racetrack, but it goes back a long ways to the old All-Pro and late model days. This guy knows how to get it done at Myrtle Beach.
On board with Rich. You get a sense of that D-shaped front stretch here at Myrtle Beach Speedway. You're kind of turning the wheel all the way as Gill runs to the inside of Rich.
It is so difficult to keep the right rear tire on the race car. You really work that car hard on the right rear with that D-shaped front straightaway.
Riding with Jay Fogelman in the Grease Lightning Ford. Gill, having cleared Rich now, will try to track down Fogelman. Protecting your tires and your equipment is always critical at Myrtle Beach Speedway, and Gill certainly has that part of this equation figured out.
Well, what they'll do is they'll use both ends of the race car. They'll use the front end of the car, drive it in a little bit harder, make the front wheels, the front tires work harder than the back. Then they'll do that for 10, maybe 20 laps. Then you use the back of the car. Oh, we've got caution.
6 laps on the board, and we've got trouble already. The 22 north of Derek Cale has spun. Cale spinning there at the entrance to pit road, and that brings out our first yellow flag of the night. Cale started 24th in the Heritage Equipment Laughlin Performance car. So he will get that car refired, rejoin at the rear of the field. Clay Rogers is your early leader at Myrtle Beach. We welcome you back to Myrtle Beach Speedway. Coverage of the BiLo 250, the USAR Hooters Pro Cup Series, preparing for a restart. Before we go, Scott, how about the BF Goodrich track map?
Well, we've already hit on the hard part, and that's the front straightaway, that D shape. Very little banking on this racetrack. You see 5 degrees down the straightaway, 13 degrees in the corners, but that's up higher in the corners. You're going to run right on the bottom of the racetrack. That's where all the fast guys, right up against that inside wall. Very abrasive racetrack. Tough for the drivers and the crew chief.
Derek Cale has already gone down a lap, so he restarts on the inside. Rogers, lead lap cars up high, and Clay Rogers by a couple of car lengths over Joey Logano as we are back underway. Jeff Agnew runs third in front of St. Amant. 5th belongs to the car of Jay Fogelman. Marty Lindley came out of pit road under caution, out of power, Stephen. What's the story down there?
Marty Lindley has taken a detour down pit road. The 22 Black's Tire and Auto Service car has broken a drive shaft, and what a terrible thing to go wrong this early in a championship series race at Myrtle Beach. They brought it in. They're going to go ahead and try to change it, but obviously we're under green right now, so this takes Marty out of the running almost before the green flag ever dropped.
Well, when disaster strikes, you never know when it's going to hit. You practice all day long. You look everything over before you even send your car to qualify. And those little things that you just cannot see can break at any time.
Battling for position, this is Woody Howard, one of the Joe Gibbs development drivers in the Dean Motorsports Chevy, the 55. He and Danji Hannaford, who used to drive that Black's Tire and Auto Center car, in that 65, the Mack Hill Motorsports Chevy. And they have caught Michael Rich now in the Jackaroo Meat Sauce's entry. Battling hard here in Myrtle Beach. Johnny Rumley right behind in the Champion Spark Plug Chevrolet, the Junior Motorsports car. Rich on the bottom in that Jackaroo Ford. That's not where he usually likes to go racing. Woody Howard, meantime, trying to put Hannaford away and get up around the 28 car.
I think Michael Rich is doing the right thing, though. When you use all the racetrack, you use the bottom and then you slide yourself up on the straightaway. It's much easier on the tires. You're not binding the car up at all. These guys are trying to go around the racetrack, just soft pedaling to save some tire for later in the run.
Danji Hannaford qualified the 65 car, 6th alongside Fogelman. He's backpedaled. He's lost a bunch of spots here in the first handful of laps. Michael Rich having trouble keeping up to pace 2 of that 28 car. Meantime, battling up front, here's Fogelman in the Grease Lightning 4 car in front of Bobby Gill in the USG Sheetrock Ford. Gill, of course, a 3-time Hooters Cup national champion. Derek Cale there in the 22. being lapped by the lead lap cars.
Well, up in front of these guys, this Jeff Agnew just went around Joey Logano. Logano struggling just a little bit with that race car. Remember, didn't get a lot of time. They broke a motor in practice today. Sat on the pole, but his car starting to drift back a little bit.
So Agnew of the Mark IV Honda machine, the 73 car, up to second. He's a former national champion in this series as well. Gale now battling with Michael Rich, and Rich will move by. Angie Hannaford continues to backslide in the 65. And here's Shelby Howard in the Tony Stewart Motorsports Pontiac, the Speedco Truck Lubes car. Late arrival here. They had to take a provisional to get that car in the field. He started 37th, Stephen. What's Shelby's story tonight?
Rick, I asked Eddie Kelly, the 20 Cars crew chief, the very same question 20 minutes before the race, and he said, I don't know where he's at. Shelby Howard was in Memphis today. That's why he qualified 21st for the Busch race there. After 100 or so laps, they dropped out, the engine died, and they parked the car, and somebody looked at their watch and they said, look, you're already out of this race. We better get you to Myrtle Beach as fast as possible. So they hopped the Learjet. They chartered it 625 miles an hour. 1 hour and 20 minutes later, he showed up, and he made it.
Boy, Shelby Howard's going to get a lot of laps here today, isn't he?
Seat time's key for a young driver. On the backstretch for the lead, Jeff Agnew diving to the bottom inside Clay Rogers. So Agnew, who won the title in 1999, trying to take that Mark IV Honda Ford to the front here, and he does. Agnew powers by Rogers on the front stretch.
You know, I'm not so sure that Clay Rogers didn't just breathe the throttle a little bit, going down the straightaway, said, look, you've been pestering me. Go ahead and you lead for a while, and I'll stay on your back bumper.
So Rogers settles into second. And now Gary St. Amant under attack in third spot. The Jakes.com Chevy. Here comes Fogelman in the Greased Lightning 4 car. He's running the bottom. That is where you like to pass here at Myrtle Beach, heading down into turn 1.
You've got to be right on the bottom, like Bobby Gill as you're looking back. That guy is so smooth on the bottom, let the car drift up. What about all these old guys up front, though, huh?
I don't think any of them would like to hear you reference them as old guys. They just have a lot of experience in this series and at this racetrack.
Well, experience definitely helps at Myrtle Beach.
Old age and treachery. Fogelman in the 4 car. Gill, now Michael Rich as Gary St. Amant's hung up on the outside in the 72. Angie Hannaford back there as well in the Mack Hill Motorsports Chevy, the 65 car. Now, he qualified 6th, but Hannaford, who's certainly a young guy, he's been backing up as we ride with Michael Rich in the naturally fresh Ford.
You'll listen to the throttle in Michael Rich's car. It's just so smooth. It doesn't really get all the way to the Ford. It gets all the way up on the straightaway. Don't kill the tires early in the run.
Third spot belongs now to Fogelman. 4th to Bobby Gill. 5th is Michael Rich, a little further back. St. Amant settles in front of Hannaford. And then the Derek Cale car, the 22. He had spun earlier up front. Rogers now starting to apply some pressure again to the 73 of Agnew. Jeff Agnew getting a chance to lead laps early here in the Mark IV Honda Ford. Out of Southwest Virginia, out of Floyd, Virginia.
We expected the 44 of Clay Rogers to be up front and really be up there all night long. I did not anticipate the 73 of Jeff Agnew to be leading early in the show. He's more of a, let me just wait right here, run about 8th, 10th place. Tonight he wants to flex some muscle.
Agnew is your leader. Rogers in second. Third spot belongs to the car of Jay Fogelman. Stephen Cox, what about the 12-tire strategy tonight for Gordon?
Myrtle Beach has always been tough on tires. Today is no exception. So USAR said all the teams can have 12 tires instead of the usual 8. That's 3 sets. Now, Todd Gordon told me today, he said, I would like to pull a fast one. I want to take a bunch of right side tires and keep fresh rubber all night long on the right side. But USAR saw that one coming a mile away and said, no way. You're going to take 4 left side extra tires, 4 right side extra tires. So, Scott, they now have 2 full tire changes all the way around the car. You can't do it any other way. So the question is, when do you spin them?
Well, I think the whole deal is you're going to try to make it as far as you can on one run and then make your adjustments for later in the show. The longer you can stay on a set of tires, the more advantage you'll have at the end of the race.
Good battle here. Shane Wallace in the Wallace Construction Ford, the 38 car. Benny Gordon, the defending national champion in the Hooters Pro Cup Series with the Predator Performance Ford. Matt Carter in the 26 car, the RipkenExperience.com entry. The 11th starter, Ken Butler III, in the Aaron's Dream Machine. we ride with Butler down into the corner here at Myrtle Beach Speedway. Showing a lot of patience tonight as he runs up onto the backstretch. Ken Butler settling in at 20th in the early going. Meantime, Shelby Howard in the Lucas Oil Speedco Truck Lube Pontiac had to start shotgun on the field. He's picked up 10 spots in the early going. Not bad at all for a young driver from Indiana who I guess has never been here before.
Well, he's only had practice. He came down last Wednesday and tested here to get a few laps. But this is his first time in race condition, and he's got his hands full right now. It's going to take a lot of adjustments before tonight's over.
Change for second spot as we show you our Pepsi running order top of the screen. Jay Fogelman has gotten by Clay Rogers now. So Fogelman in the Grease Lightning Ford showing some strength at one of his favorite racetracks. Clay Rogers, they may have a problem here from the outside pole. He's backslid.
He has. Yeah, well, for him to go to the lead all the way back to third, that's a huge problem for Clay Rogers.
Boiler car racing by pole sitter Joey Logano. So Logano in the Joe Gibbs Oil Chevrolet, he's backpedaling. He's stuck up on the outside. Here comes Rumley now in the champion Navy Chevrolet. Let's get on board with Michael Rich. He's going for third inside Clay Rogers.
Drives it down into the corner. Clay Rogers kind of just backs out of it, gives him the spot. Up off the corner, out to the front straightaway.
Leaders lapping by Andrew Rogers there in the Terminator 18.
That was just a wave to say, hey, buddy, thanks for the spot.
So Clay Rogers, now, you think it might be part of his strategy to just take it easy as we watch Woody Howard battle here with Jeff Fultz?
Jeff Fultz's car really looks like he's on a mission to get to the front. I think a lot of it is race strategy. I think these crew chiefs said, look, this is what time we're going to try to run, whether it be a 22-second or a 23-second lap. We're going to establish a time. We're going to try to run that all night long.
Well, Michael Rich and Clay Rogers running third and fourth now. So Rogers from the outside pole led early. He's given that up, and he settles in fourth as we work on lap 34. This oil running order, top of your screen, courtesy of iCard, the official timing and scoring provider of the USAR Hooters Pro Cup Series. Now Rogers starts to work the bottom a little bit. He's got 2 more sets of tires to play with tonight, so you'd think around somewhere around the 80-85 lap mark. If a caution falls, that's when you'd want to come down pit road and get your first set of tires.
The better cars try to get all the way to lap 100 before they come in and get their tires. The closer they get 100, then they go to the 200, a little past 200. That really saves that precious set of tires for the end of the race. Clay Rogers' car right now rolls the middle of the corner. He rolls right on the bottom, in the middle, faster than anybody. The problem is just a little bit loose at the top of the corner.
So Rich in the 28, Rogers in the 44, and Gill in the Kimnock 4 in the USG Sheetrock 06. They're third, fourth, and fifth here at Myrtle Beach Speedway. Already putting Mike Herman a lap down in the Fireside Hearth and Home Chevrolet. Now they had problems with that car, had to work on it. He started at the back. He's off the pace in trouble. We got a car in trouble. One car goes around, and that will bring out our second caution. It's Daniel Johnson in the BiLo Western Union Pontiac on lap 37. So Daniel Johnson who qualified 29th here after finishing second at Iowa Speedway in the opener of the championship series. He has spun his Pontiac at Myrtle Beach. Daniel Johnson will try to avoid going a lap down to the leaders here. I don't think he'll be able to do it. All right, under caution for the second time tonight in the BiLo 250. Jeff Agnew is your leader. We'll be back.
Welcome back to the BiLo 250.
Back underway with lap 42 going up on the board here at Myrtle Beach Speedway. Jeff Agnew is your leader. Eric Cale trying to get his lap back. Fogelman to second. Rich is third. Clay Rogers is fourth. Top 5 rounded out by the 06, the Kimnock Ford of 3-time champion Bobby Gill. Cale for the moment gets the nose of the 22 by the 73 car. So Derek Cale may be able to get his lap back here, Scott.
Boy, Cale needs a caution. He needs a quick caution right now so he can come all the way around. Hear that, he's really going to have to punish that race car to stay up there. Jay Fogelman takes advantage, though.
Yes, he does. The Grease Lightning Ford, first time in a long time that the 4 car has been at the top of the leaderboard in the USAR Hooters Pro Cup Series. And Mike Herman wants to go 3 wide. He saw he had the opportunity to come by and get a lap back. Fogelman to the lead in car number 4. Jay Fogelman takes the Grease Lightning Fusion to the point, and here comes Herman. Now, Herman had stopped under that caution, took tires. As you said, he's going to be Superman for a while.
Well, he's got to get back on the lead lap. He took advantage of that situation. He's back on the lead lap. Right now, Jay Fogelman leading this race. Just be smooth, Jay.
Fogelman out in front. Agnew in the Mark IV Honda car settles down into second. The Grease Lightning machine of Fogelman taking the opportunity to build his lead here. Myrtle Beach is one of those places where track position and pit strategy is so critical because fresh tires can do you a world of good here, and tire management is so critical. And now Bobby Gill starting to move on the bottom. Meantime, we check in with the battle here between Don Satterfield in the Hawk Sawblades car. That's the red Pontiac on the bottom, and Lonnie Rush in the 71, the Levitt Racing Components entry on the high side. Races out of Mooresville, North Carolina now side by side for 20th. Chase Pistone in the Titan Industrial 03. Chase back in the championship series this week, right there as well as they work the backstretch here at Myrtle Beach. Aaron's running order, top of your screen. Ken Butler the third right there as well. So you've got 20th, 21st, 22nd, 23rd. And they close in on Matt Carter in that RipkenExperience.com Ford, the 26 car. Lonnie Rush on the high side. Satterfield got by Rush to give Don Satterfield 20th position. Lonnie Rush settles into 21st. On board here with Ken Butler. Chase Pistone had gotten by Butler a moment ago in the Titan Industrial entry. Butler works around him on the top. Hard to make the car hook up if you're up in that second lane here at Myrtle Beach. Out front, meantime, Bobby Gill now has tracked down Fogelman. Gill wants a sniff of the lead in the USG Sheetrock Ford.
Bobby Gill's passed a couple real good race cars, the 44 and the 73, and he's hunting for the 4, and away he goes.
Bobby Gill to the bottom, into 3. He dive bombs the 4 car, and Gill takes over. So Bobby Gill leads laps tonight. 3-time series champ, 3 in a row.
All I can say is Jay Fogelman must have knew that he was coming, because he never made a move to pull down. Bobby Gill is on a mission.
So Bobby Gill will lead laps tonight here at Myrtle Beach Speedway. The 3-time series champion takes the USG Sheetrock Ford to the point. We'll be right back. We're back and we're under caution. Debris on the speedway, third yellow of the night. Before we started, we talked to Michael Rich, who's the race leader, about what happened to him at Mansfield and what a huge problem it created for his team.
Killed us, man, because that was going to put us pretty good in the top 10. I mean, we was going to be looking pretty good in the points, and got to be in the top 10 at the end of the year to get some of that purse money, so we can be ready for next year. So I just really hurt our momentum. We've had some great race cars with the Jack Rue car, and just hadn't had the finishes. Been really strong and competitive, but like here, you know, I mean, we finally qualified in the top 10 at Myrtle Beach, and that's something. So we'll see how it runs tonight.
Well, so far so good. He's running real good, and look at this.
Joey Logano makes an early pit stop under caution. Now, he was the fast qualifier tonight, but that car has not run well, Stephen, from the start of the race.
Joey Logano's car is very, very free, so loose he could barely drive the race car, so they decided to go ahead and bring it in. Crew Chief Tony Blanchard made the call. They're going to top it off with fuel. They are going to make some adjustments, but that right side took a very, very long time to change those 2 tires. They're finished with the fueling, and now they await the left side, but this is a long, painful stop. They wanted to go ahead and make it because Joey was complaining about the management of the car. He said he just could not keep the tail end behind him, but it took him an awful long time to get off pit road.
Now, Stephen, before we go green, tell us a little about the area here in Myrtle Beach and what a fertile place this is for motorsports.
Myrtle Beach is a vacationer's paradise. You can't even come down here without thinking about it. It's the perfect place to find sponsors for auto racing. I spoke to one of them earlier today. It's not even 2007. We already have our sponsors lining up for USAR action next year. One of them is the Myrtle Beach Area Chamber of Commerce. Megan Winnett works with them, and Megan, I've got to ask you why they chose USAR for the outlet for their message.
Well, part of our job as the chamber is to be a promotional agency for the entire Grand Strand area, and we're always looking for different ways and opportunities, such as the partnership through USAR, to promote our destination, to let them know that Myrtle Beach area is ever changing. We have constant changes every year. There's something new for the vacationers. And we're also trying to tap into a market of new visitors that we could tell the Myrtle Beach story too.
And Myrtle Beach is the official vacation destination for 2007, so you're shooting for more than just locals.
Exactly. USAR and the sport of racing is so popular, especially in this area. And the fans and the loyal fan base that they have and the families that they bring along with them, they're looking for a good, clean, fun, affordable environment to bring their families to vacation to, and that's exactly what Myrtle Beach offers them.
So the Myrtle Beach Chamber of Commerce, a big supporter of motorsports in the USAR Hooters Pro Cup Series. Green flag on lap 73. Michael Rich with Daniel Johnson in the BiLo Pontiac on the bottom, trying to get back and get his lap back at this point. And Johnson on fresh tires will do that.
Well, that's going to be a whole train. These guys are on the bottom. They've got fresher tires. They've got to do what they can do to get back on that lead lap. While Joey Logano is on pit road, along with the 01 of Wayne Willard, the 84 Lavender, the 03 and the 8 car, all come to pit road, and I think that'll really play later in this race.
Here comes Jay Fogelman now. He wants the lead back on the bottom, battling with Rich out of turn number 2. Fogelman in the Grease Lightning 4 car is back in front. Shane Wallace, who was penalized earlier in the Wallace Construction 38, he's also snuck by and gotten the lap back, as has Tim Bainey in the other Grease Lightning car, the 15. But Fogelman is the race leader. Rich settles into second. Trevor Bain in the McDonald's Optima 29 car getting himself into the mix here. Now Bain started 19th. He has worked his way up through the field, Scott, and he's third right now as we ride with Shelby Howard.
Trevor Bain with a strong horse. He did earlier this year when they came. First time he ever came to Myrtle Beach in a Hooters Pro Cup car. He got all the way into the top 5. Real good car tonight. You're riding along with Shelby Howard. He's got an opportunity to work on his race car. Now he's racing with the leaders.
Howard's fighting hard here, shown 31st. Remember, he started 37th. He is a lap down, wants to unlap himself. Follows Bain now on the bottom. They will go by Michael Rich. So Trevor Bain picks up a spot. He's in second now behind Fogelman. And here comes Shelby Howard. Puts away Trevor Bain and takes off in search of the leader. And caution. Caution on the Speedway yet again on lap 73. It's our 4th caution of the night. The 48 car has gone around. The Piro's Vegetables entry of Sam Falone from upstate New York. The Falone Trucking Chevrolet, and Sam Falone will spin that car around and rejoin the field. We'll be right back with more of the BiLo 250.
Don't go away. There'll be more racing action right after this.
We are back at Myrtle Beach preparing for a restart, almost a third of the way home. Fogelman and the lead lap cars on the high side here.
Shelby Howard was about to get his lap back when the caution came out. I think he's got a better horse right now. He'll get by Jay Fogelman.
Rubs on the 4 car on the way by. Howard gets back on the lead lap. Here comes Trevor Bain for the lead. 15 years of age in that McDonald's Ford. Fogelman says, "Not yet, young fella." Andrew Rogers back there in the Termador Aaron's 18 car. He wants to get a lap back. Side by side for the top spot, down into 1. Bain by a fender width. Trevor Bain's got the preferred line. Fogelman hanging right with him now. Is Jay Fogelman punishing that race car too much?
Oh, he absolutely is. But he doesn't want the whole train to go by underneath. He's just going to let his car slide around a little bit. He's going to make the Trevor Bain car work really hard.
Andrew Rogers tucked down on the bottom there in that red Termador car. He wants to get by too if he can. Here comes Rich meantime back on the outside. Daniel Johnson there in the BiLo 3 car. Bain asserts himself in the lead. Rogers rolls by. Fogelman will have to try to find a place to get back in line. Right now he can't do it. 80 laps on the board. Your Aaron's running order top of the screen. Here comes the 18 car of Andrew Rogers to unlap himself on the bottom. Clay Rogers has worked his way back up into the mix as well. In that Automotive Development Group car, Rogers the championship leader. He's won 2 in a row. And he gets by Fogelman for second. Clay Rogers headed back toward the... Oh, A.J. Frank in trouble in the Ohio Tech College 11 car. 81 laps on the board, and A.J. Frank is off the pace. Wonder if he's got a tire down.
You can see the left rear tire is flat. He has got to have a caution. He doesn't want to come down pit road. He's going to do everything he can. Hopefully he can get a caution. You can see the left rear tire is out of air.
He doesn't want to be the caution either. Meantime, Clay Rogers wants to be the leader once again. Clay Rogers on the bottom of the 44 car. Trevor Bain trying to hold him off up high in that 29. Has to let him go, and here comes Fogelman. Very abrasive track surface here, as always. One of the challenges of racing at Myrtle Beach Speedway.
Well, I guess that's the answer to your question. The 44 car was laying around, just letting these kids wear their tires out, and here he comes.
Clay Rogers is back in front. From the outside pole, led laps early, backpedaled deeper in the field than we would have thought normally. Back around fourth or so, and now he has calmly worked his way back to the point. Here's Fogelman, back alongside Bain. Fogelman in the Grease Lightning 4 car. Running down on the white stripe on the inside. Second spot up for grabs. It's J.J. Pack in the UMG Financial 16 car, lap down right behind these two. Michael Rich next in line, and Fogelman gets back around Trevor Bain.
Jay Fogelman just being smooth with that gas pedal, using the bottom line to his advantage. But give a call to Trevor Bain, a 15-year-old young man, excellent race car driver.
He's had some terrific runs this season, nearly won at Bristol back in August. Leader is Clay Rogers. Fogelman on the backstretch. One car coming back up onto the speedway after making a pit stop. A.J. Frank had that tire go down. The 11 car to pit road. They put a new BF Goodrich G-Force radial on that car. On board with Shelby Howard, the Speedco Truck Lubes entry. Up to 28th after lining up 37th. That Tony Stewart Motorsports car, the Lucas Oil Products Camry. Their light running order, top of your screen. Benny Gordon all the way up to 7th in the Predator Performance Ford, defending series champ. Lined up 23rd, didn't qualify well at all at a place he dearly loves as we ride with Butler now in the Aaron's Dream Machine Pontiac.
I get a kick out of Don Satterfield, has followed Benny Gordon all the way to front, running 8th. Great run for the Hawk Saw Blade car.
Riding with Ken Butler, caution on the speedway. 5th yellow of the night because J.J. Pack has spun the UMG Financial Chevy down at the other end of the racetrack on lap number 89. Pack will snap that car around, rejoin the field, and we're about at a time we might see pit stops.
I think pit road's going to get real busy, but what J.J. Pack was trying to get back on the lead lap, real bad break for that team.
All right, 88 laps are on the board. We'll be back at Myrtle Beach Speedway. Leader is Clay Rogers. He heads to pit road for his first stop of the night in the Johnny Suzuki Automotive Development Group Ford. He's the championship leader, Stephen.
Clay Rogers will bring the Ford down pit row, and the number 44 car, enjoying a comfortable lead in the championship series right now, will make his pit stop. And really the only change that they want to make on this car is the temperature down here is a little bit colder, the ambient temperature a little bit colder than what they expected, so they're going to adjust tire pressure accordingly and see if they can get Clay out first, and they do. And right behind him is the 06 car of Bobby Gill, and Benny Gordon will beat him off pit row, as will the 72.
Here comes Jeff Fultz back off of pit road as well. Jay Fogelman seemed a little bit off the pace. Now, how you perform on pit road is so critical to your chances of winning here.
Well, this is how they came down pit road. Clay Rogers was leading. But what about Gary St. Amant? Come in 10th, come off pit road 3rd. Great pit stop there, as well as Jeff Fultz's team. A lot of good pit stop, a lot of hard work down there.
And Clay Rogers will be the restart leader. We spoke to Clay before the drop of the green tonight about how it feels to be the championship leader.
Well, I mean, there's not a lot of pressure. I mean, there is some, but I mean, all that pressure goes away. Like today, our car was fast in practice, so that lifts a huge weight off my shoulders, just knowing that we don't have to worry. At least we're not fighting a bad race car. Our race car is excellent. Now we just got to put 250 laps together, not make any mistakes on pit road, and me not making any mistakes on the racetrack. And, you know, hopefully we can come out of here with an add or point lead if we can. If we can just maintain, I'll be happy with that.
Well, Rogers with a lot of bonus money in play if he can win again. Now we had 10 drivers who stayed out, who pitted earlier. Derek Cale, the first of those cars, he'll be the restart leader. Rogers starts back in 11th.
Well, this is why Myrtle Beach is so awesome, because how you pit and your strategies and how you use your tires to your advantage is the reason you're going to be in this. And we're going to have guys everywhere, fast cars in the back and fast cars in the front.
Lap cars are on the bottom, trying to work their way back to the front. Joey Logano, who pitted early for 4 tires. His car was way loose. He's trying to race his way back into contention in that Joe Gibbs Oil Chevy, the 51 car. He was the fast qualifier tonight. And what you're really talking about, I think, Scott, is the differential in speed as Cale in that Heritage Equipment car leads. He's got a shot at the Miller Lite Rookie of the Year honors. New tires really give you a big speed difference here.
And it does for about 15 laps. You take advantage of it in every way you can.
Before the start, we talked to Derek about his chances of winning Rookie of the Year.
Tonight, main concern is just finish the race. We know how this plays. It breeds cautions. There'll be a lot of cars torn up, and we just hope to get in there and finish the race.
Well, finishing will help Derek Cale as he tries to win the Miller Lite Rookie of the Year honors for 2006. He's already won $10,000. If he can close the deal during the championship series, another $40 plus bonus money in 2007 would be his. Watching Jody Lavender in the H&R Block 84 trying to hold off Mike Herman's Fireside Hearth and Home Chevy. You've got Johnny Rumley there in the mix too. Now, Martin Riley, who's a neighbor of Jody Lavender's. He's from Hartsville, South Carolina. Picked Jody as the driver he'd like to see win tonight in the Team Hooters Challenge. If that happens, Martin will join Lavender's team in victory lane. Welcome back to Myrtle Beach Speedway. The BiLo 250 presented by Black's Tire and Auto Service under caution for debris on the speedway. And we've had a lead change while we were away. Matt Carter in the RipkenExperience.com Ford has gotten by Derek Cale's machine. Scott, let's take a look at how the 26 car and young Mr. Carter got that lead away from Cale.
Drive it off down in the corner, get underneath him. Hey, you can finish the corner out there. There's not a lot of grip in that outside groove just yet.
Textbook move to the inside down into turn 1 here at Myrtle Beach Speedway. Justin Hopgood in the naturally fresh Ford, the 16, first of the cars, a lap down. Let's get it downstairs to Stephen Cox, the 0-0 situation.
Here's the fluid coming out of Ken Butler III's car. He is going to come back in for another stop. He stopped just moments ago under the orders of USAR Pro Cup officials. They found fluids and smoke coming out from underneath the race car. They thought it was a brake problem, Rick. It didn't turn out to be a brake problem. They believe that the brake fluid levels are just fine. Now they're looking for a possible engine leak for engine oil. So that's what they're looking at right now, and they say it's severe enough that Ken Butler, despite a great starting position after qualifications today, will not be allowed back out on the racetrack to compete until they fix it.
Well, there's an official right there on the spot, and if there's any oil leak, and they will not go back out on the racetrack. Matt Carter in the lead. Derek Cale, and how about Wayne Willard at Bowen Family Home in third?
Wayne Willard in that Ford, the 01 car. All of those drivers with their eyes on the halfway bonus money here tonight from Lucas Oil. $1,000 up for grabs if you can lead it halfway, and we're just a couple of laps from that point. Bobby Gill, who led earlier in the USG Sheetrock Ford, working his way back to the front. Carter in the 26, out front now.
Well, we talked about guys getting new tires, and we talked about track position being so critical. The thing is, if you're in the back and the guys with tires that are a little bit older in front of you, you've really got to be patient coming back through the field.
Well, the 48 of Sam Falone, he spun earlier in that Heroes Vegetable Chevy. He's quick, but he's not on the lead lap yet. Don Satterfield in the Hawksaw Blades 1, he lost a lap on pit road as well. Cale holds second, Willard is third. Clay Rogers has worked his way back to fourth. Couple of laps to go until we see the cross flags. Jay Fogelman's led a lot of laps tonight in the Grease Lightning Ford. He's trying to get back into contention as well. Working by Shelby Howard on the outside in the Speedco Truck Loops 20.
You cannot stress to your driver enough. Take care of your car. Take care of your tires. Be smooth, but yet you've got to be aggressive. It's hard to cross that line on both sides.
Shane Wallace on the Wallace Construction Ford, the 38 there, up on the high side. Didn't qualify well. They've struggled this weekend. There's Andrew Rogers. Woody Howard in the Dean Motorsports Chevy, the 55, with Rogers on the high side. Clay Rogers in the Automotive Development 44. 2 championship series wins already. One more and he earns a $10,000 bonus if he can get the job done here tonight. And he is back up to second.
Well, that's a pretty good run. Matt Carter is really getting worked over by these lap cars, but maybe the best car on the racetrack's got to be that 55 of Woody Howard. That car's a rocket right now.
Howard won the championship series opener at the new Iowa Speedway. A.J. Frank in the 11 car lost a couple of laps early. He had a tire go down, had to make an unscheduled stop. There's the 66 of Benny Gordon, the defending series champ in that Predator Performance Taurus. Meantime, Woody Howard moving by the Matt Carter car. Carter been the leader. Andrew Rogers will go through as well. Woody Howard unlaps himself.
But Andrew Rogers has got the 26 of Matt Carter held up there. He's going to hold him in that outside groove. That's going to open the door for Clay Rogers.
Clay Rogers from the outside pole led laps early, and he takes the lead back in the Baird Transportation 44. So Clay Rogers, with a couple of championship series wins to his credit, out in front again here at Myrtle Beach. Couple of laps to go until the cross flags. Andrew Rogers back on the lead lap. Lucas Oil running order top of your screen. Clay Rogers having things unfold perfectly. What about Joey Logano? Pole sitter in that Joe Gibbs oil car. He's locked in a battle here with Jeff Fultz. Dan G. Hannaford in the Mack Hill Motorsports Chevy. Fultz in that CNC Boilers Pontiac. He's closing in on Chase Pistone in the Titan Industrial 03. Bobby Gill in front of this group in the USG Sheetrock Ford, and Fultz gets by.
Fultz's car really fast through the middle of the corner. Logano struggling. His car still will not get forward bite up at the top of the straightaway.
Michael Rich, who's led earlier in the Jackaroo Meat Sauces Ford, moves by Logano. Clay Rogers, meantime, coming to the cross flags. Andrew Rogers trying to stay on the lead lap. Halfway honors to Clay Rogers tonight here in Myrtle Beach. In trouble. 125 up on the board. We get our 7th caution of the night. An incident up in the corner, up in turn 3. Kirk Leone, Jay Fogelman in this one, Scott.
Well, let's take another look. Down into the corner, the 65 and the 80 already had contact. Around goes the 52 car, Leone. Jay Fogelman's right behind him. And everybody's trying to go 3 wide, and Fogelman bang into the 52 car.
Now, Fogelman, who had been a race leader earlier, that could have done some significant damage to his chances tonight. Clay Rogers earns the Lucas Oil halfway bonus. He has led through 13 lead changes. He's got 30 laps at the top of the leaderboard so far in the Johnny Suzuki car number 44. Our Miller Lite Rookie of the Year standings, Derek Hale, best of the first-year drivers, and Jeff Fultz, both in the top 10. We'll be back at Myrtle Beach. Back at Myrtle Beach Speedway, getting set for a restart just past halfway tonight of the BiLo 250. Daniel Johnson will try to get his lap back from Clay Rogers on lap 132. Now the inside's where you normally want to be here at Myrtle Beach. Daniel Johnson trying to use that lane to his advantage, but Clay Rogers able to stay in front of the 3 car. Chase Pistone there in the Titan Industrial 03. He's got a battle on his hands with Michael Rich. Daniel Johnson could not get himself unlapped.
There's good race cars all the way around the racetrack. They're in the front, they're in the middle, they're in the back. Depending on when they got tires, they're just trying to get themselves sorted out, get back to the front. Bobby Gill showing a lot of muscle here in the middle stages of the race again.
Takes that USG Sheetrock Ford to 4th, getting by the car of Derek Cale, who's been a contender much of the night. And here comes Benny Gordon, the Predator Performance entry. Out of Pennsylvania, defending champion. He's got a lot of wins here at Myrtle Beach Speedway, and he is starting to make some noise.
Well, we were real surprised that Benny Gordon was deep in the field for qualifying. But it's no big surprise. We've seen him do it the last couple of times. It just he makes his way to the front. It's something they learned from their late model days. It's worked every time they've come here.
Lonnie Rush in front of this battle. Rush in 11, Racing Components 71. This is one of those places where you qualify isn't as important, I would suspect, as being good with the race setup.
You work on the race setup all afternoon, finding a comfort zone on 50-lap tires. The driver says, I can do this all night long, or if I'm too free or if I'm too tight. Typically, the right rear doesn't stay under it, so that's the part they work on.
Bobby Gill moving by Lonnie Rush's machine. He's tucked up behind Matt Carter now in the RipkenExperience.com Ford. The 26, Dad Travis, calling the shots for Matt Carter's efforts here tonight. Well, Bobby Gill's just taking second, Scott. How good is he?
Well, it looks like he can use the outside, he can use the bottom. More importantly, he has forward grip up off the corner of that car. It's really a rocket right now.
Well, Stephen Cox has caught up with Bobby Gill's crew chief. Stephen, are they happy with the 06 car?
Jamie Scoring says you guys are the fastest car on the racetrack. What did you do? Who lit a fire under Bobby when I wasn't looking?
Yeah, this USG Kim9 Ford is really good tonight. All we did was take a little bit of wedge out. Biggest thing about this track though is having the best tires at the end, so that's what counts. Right now he's running some quick laps out there. We're going to back him up in just a minute and hold on for the end.
Notice what he just said. We're going to back him up in a minute. We're going to say, Bobby, we got a pace that we need to run. Slow down, keep the tires under it. Let's have something for the end of the race.
113 laps to go, and here comes Gordon. Jeff Fultz in tow in the CNC Boiler 54. Looking up on Carter, and now for the lead, Gill and the USG Sheetrock Ford to the inside of Clay Rogers. Bobby Gill takes the point here at Myrtle Beach. Now the question is, we've got at least one more stop for these lead cars. They've got another set of tires to go. When do you come to pit road? And how good does your race car turn out for the last run of the night?
The least amount of laps you have to put on that last set of tires, the better off you are. That's the big advantage. However, don't get yourself caught way in the back. That will be the other part of that.
Benny Gordon moves to 3rd in the Predator Performance Ford. So you'd love to see a caution around lap 190 or so, probably.
Around lap 200. If you can get around 200, then everybody's going to go to pit road at the same time. How about Benny Gordon?
To the bottom, he'll get inside the 44. Benny Gordon is second now, passing Rogers. About 5 car lengths behind the leader, Gill. Now, these 3 drivers have all had a sniff of the lead tonight, and they have been all around the front much of the evening. Gordon had to battle back, started back in the 12th row. Gill and Rogers, of course, qualified much better. Rogers on the outside pole. Before the race started tonight, we had a chance to chat with Benny Gordon, the defending series champ. He's got several victories here at Myrtle Beach Speedway, and we asked him about his past experience, how important that would be in figuring out how to set up the Predator Performance entry for tonight's 250-lap run.
This racetrack changes so much, and it's been changing, so you can use your notes, but at the same time, it doesn't put you right on here. A lot of racetracks I can use my notes, go right back, and be fast right out the trailer, but didn't work today, and so we just had to really do a lot of work and study what was going on and get caught up with this racetrack.
And he's right on right there. I mean, these drivers, they're looking for a feel in their race car. And what they used last time, got together. That doesn't mean it's going to work. Right now, Benny Gordon's got what he likes.
Well, he was feeling the sheet metal on Bobby Gill's ride there for a moment. Gill, of course, a veteran. Gordon with lots of experience, too, and those two can rub on each other and not cause an incident. Michael Rich right there in 4th in the 28 car, the Jackaroo Meat Sauces entry, and trouble. On lap 144, up between 3 and 4, Lonnie Rush has gone around. Derek Cale has spun. Wayne Willard's caught up in it, along with Danji Hannaford. Now let's take another look at how this unfolded in front of this battle between Bain and Lavender.
It looks like the 71 car already got spun, and now everybody's on the brakes real hard. Cale goes around. Bain, Willard's caught in it, and Hannaford as well up against the wall.
Just a little bit of contact there. Mark Nesbitt of the ConstructionJobs.com Ford was involved in it as well. This will leave Bobby Gill out in front of Benny Gordon, Rogers, Michael Rich, and Jeff Fultz. Getting close to 100 to go at Myrtle Beach. Welcome back. Green flag is back in the air. 100 laps to go tonight at Myrtle Beach Speedway in the BiLo 250. The Mark Brooks Memorial, 4th of 6 championship races to settle the USAR Hooters Pro Cup title fight here in 2006. I'm Rick Benjamin, Scott Sutherland alongside. Bobby Gill is your race leader, but Justin Hobgood and Daniel Johnson on the bottom. Daniel Johnson, lots of smoke showing out of the 3 car, trying to unlap himself, but he's got a problem, Scott.
That's got to be sheet metal rubbing on the left front tire. It's getting down on the tire when he goes through the corner. Didn't do it near as bad that time.
Hobgood gets by. Gill is still the leader. Hobgood and Johnson unlapped themselves now.
Bobby Gill was real lucky that he got enough space between him and Benny Gordon. The inside row, it was open. The door was open. They would have got a shot at going around Bobby Gill.
Michael Rich to the bottom. He will take 3rd away from Clay Rogers. And the door is open for Jeff Fultz in the CNC Boilers Pontiac there, the 54.
Didn't we see this earlier, though? The 44 kind of drifted back. And then at the end of the run, baby, here he comes.
Fultz is a veteran. We've documented it for you. He's had a lot of success in other stock car series. First year in the Hooters Pro Cup Tour, but not a driver who does not know how to get around in these race cars. On board with Rich in the Jackaroo Naturally Fresh car. Right up behind Benny Gordon in the Predator Performance 4. The light running order, top of your screen with 98 to go. Jeff Agnew, who led earlier in the Mark IV Honda 73, shown in 6th. Haven't seen much of Jeff lately, but he is solidly in the top 10 as Michael Rich sniffs a spot up behind Benny Gordon's machine. Clay Rogers settling in on the inside now. Everyone chasing Bobby Gill in the Kim Mach 4 of the USG Sheetrock engine. Leaders lapping by Shane Wallace, who has struggled mightily tonight in the 38 car. Shane Wallace, usually very stout. They do not have it figured out here at Myrtle Beach. 2nd spot in play. Michael Rich diving to the bottom. Wants to get that spot away from Benny Gordon. Michael Rich trying to rebound from a blown motor at Mansfield last time out. And he takes 2nd away from Gordon.
When we talked to Michael earlier and he talked about the cars that he's had this year, they've been much more consistent at the end of the season They just haven't been able to put the great finishing together. But right now, he's got a great race car, and he's already led here tonight.
Clay Rogers will work to the inside of Gordon. Two drivers who know each other very, very well. Bobby Gill is the leader. Rich is second. Rogers now back to third in front of Gordon. Lapping by J.J. Pack in the 16 who spun earlier. Here comes Agnew in that orange 73 car. He is sixth behind Fultz.
When these guys get shuffled up to that second group, looks like Bobby Gill's going to have it to him. There's just not enough grip out there. You've got to let the inside guy go and get back to the bottom. It's just no grip on it outside yet.
Lead change at Myrtle Beach Speedway. Michael Rich dives to the bottom and goes by Gill. And Gill, the veteran that he is, the three-time series champ, knows that there are a lot more passes to be made up front by a lot of drivers. And right now, he's content to let Michael Rich lead some laps. Coming up on 90 to go, all the leaders will need one more stop for a fresh set of BF Goodrich radials. And certainly some fuel. Here comes Fultz now in the 54 car, putting Benny Gordon back a spot. The main thing, I think, Scott, is track position. We've had a lot of cautions tonight, but you've got to be thinking, hey, if there are only one or two more, you don't want to get caught out at the wrong time. Back at Myrtle Beach Speedway, coverage of the BiLo 250, the Mark Brooks Memorial tonight. The USAR Hooters Pro Cup Series. The national championship is in play. 3 races remaining tonight and then 2 more to close the year. Clay Rogers is the championship leader. 3-time title holder Bobby Gill very much in the mix. Consider Joey Logano there in the Joe Gibbs Oil 51. Trying to work his way back up into contention. 75 laps to go, and Michael Rich has the point. Bobby Gill, Jeff Fultz, Trevor Bayne up in the top 5 now. There's Clay Rogers, lapping by the 16 of Justin Hopgood. Don Satterfield running 11th. It's been a very good night for Satterfield and the Hawk Sawblades team. Working their way up 3 wide momentarily there. Here comes Fultz, trying to drive around Bobby Gill on the high side. Shelby Howard has just struggled with that Speedco Truck Loop's Tony Stewart Motorsports entry. Had to tag the field tonight because he was late arriving at the racetrack. Ran the NASCAR Busch Series event in Memphis earlier in the day. Tony Stewart Motorsports team brought him here on a chartered Lear. Only had a few laps of testing a few days back, and they have been fighting to get that 20 car right up front meantime. Rich still out in front. Joey Logano, who is the pole qualifier, he'll go a lap down again to Rich. And Clay Rogers trying to work his way around the slower traffic and get back and battle Rich for the lead.
Now Logano and Shelby Howard are side by side. This is going to hold things up just a little bit. You can't afford to take any chances, though. You just got to be calm, be cool. Woo! Shelby Howard had a handful.
Yes, he did. That 20 car has been a handful almost from the start. Darren Odell and the team, they've been wrenching on that 20 car every chance they've got.
In Shelby Howard's defense, if you've never raced this racetrack, there's no other experience like it. These corners are flatter, and it is very tough to get grippy. You see his car slide. You really have to work on being smooth at this racetrack.
Coming up on 70 laps to go. Jay Fogelman, who led earlier, running in front of Chase Pistone there in the Titan Industrial 03, the red car. There's Satterfield. J.J. Pack off the pace in that UMG Financial entry. And Michael Rich in the Jackaroo Meat Sauces Ford. Won a championship race 2 years ago. Has been winless since.
Michael Rich running the bottom group. Did I say that? Michael Rich running the bottom group, and I mean almost knocking the paint off the wall when he comes through 3 and 4.
That will change, of course, as those BF Goodrich tires get a little bit of wear on them, get a few laps on them here. 69 laps to go. Bobby Gill, Jeff Fultz fighting for a position. Gill in the USG sheetrock entry. Fultz in that CNC boiler car. Stephen Cox has caught up with a familiar face who's helping Fultz tonight.
Jefferson Hodges working with the 54 car at Jeff Fultz, and you guys have been moving forward pretty steadily. How is the car right now? And more importantly, Jefferson, what are your prospects like at the end of the race?
Right now, the car is pretty good. I'd like it to turn a little bit better off the gas. And of course, being here at Myrtle Beach, we need a little more forward bite. We're going to pit here with about 50 to go. And I think it'll be pretty good at the end of the race. We'll just have to see.
Well, we're getting close to 60 laps left now. Will you take a green flag stop if you get to lap 200?
Oh, absolutely not. You're going to wait till that caution. There's going to be a caution. But what's going to be fun is when everybody gets their tires, it's going to be a dogfight for those last 50 laps.
Clay Rogers, Bobby Gill, Jeff Fultz are Jackaroo Sauce's running order. Top of your screen, Rogers is second, Gill is third, Fultz is fourth, and the youngster Trevor Bain in the top 5 in front of Gordon.
And that's the other surprise. That's the other surprise. There'll be somebody that'll get new tires. It'll be in that top 5 at the end of this race, dogfighting with them.
Well, Travis Carter brings Matt Carter's 26 car, the Ripken Experience entry to pit road for tires now with 65 to go, and Fultz goes by Bobby Gill. Look at how slow they are in the corners. That's a function of trying to save your stuff.
You just got to slow down. Do not let the car slip or slide. Just roll the car through the corner. Trevor Bain working himself back into contention. That kid has done it again here tonight.
At Percy Johnson excavating 52 for Kirk Leone. He has spun. He's been in the caution earlier. And Rogers takes the lead back. Clay Rogers to the inside of Michael Rich now. Gets back to the point.
All right, he's done it twice. He goes back. He just slows down, lets the car, let everybody come back to him. There's a number that they want to run. And whatever that established number is, they did it earlier today. This is the time we're going to run. And his car does it every lap. And that's what eventually takes over everybody else.
Rogers lapping by Mike Herman's 34, the Fireside Hearth and Holmes entry there. Also going by Tim Bainey's Grease Lightning Ford. Rogers in the Automotive Development Group machine. No problem with Andrew Rogers in the Termidor Aaron's 18 car. Clay Rogers back to the point, drawing a beat on Sam Fallone's Piro's Vegetables entry. Grease Lightning running order, top of your screen. Rogers from the outside pole tonight. Joey Logano in the Joe Gibbs Oil 51 just has never been a factor. He took the Advanced Auto Parts pole award earlier. The Longhorn win from the pole bonus in play for Mr. Logano, the youngster. But he has never really had an opportunity to contend here this evening as Fultz. Now we'll try to lap by Bainey. Fultz in the CNC Boilers entry. There's Trevor Bain in that McDonald's Optima Trailers 29. He's gotten by Gill. Remember, he and Gill tangled at Bristol when the lead and the race win were up for grabs back in August. All problems. Caution waving for Michelle Theriault, who's misfired in the Team Glock entry. She's gotten up into the wall. 60 to go. She has wrinkled up that car. And Michelle pulls that Ford away. The Martin Nesbitt team will go to work undoubtedly, trying to pull some of that sheet metal out, see if she can finish the race here tonight.
And you know what? It's not surprising because these tires are now showing a little bit of sign of unforgiveness, and these cars are definitely a handful. You've really got to work the steering wheel, and you've got to work the gas pedal.
60 to go next time by. Now we'll see if pit road opens and if the leaders decide to make their final stops of the night. We'll be back at Myrtle Beach. Back at Myrtle Beach Speedway, the fans feeling the need for speed tonight, and the USAR Hooters Pro Cup stars doing their best to oblige as we are under caution. The Whelen Engineering pit light is on green, so that means pit road is open. Clay Rogers, the race leader, will make what he expects to be his final stop of the night. He's in front of Steven.
Clay Rogers in the 44 car will come down pit road for no service, but the usual stuff, guys. This time around, Rick, it's going to be 4 tires and gas and no other problems at all. Now let's take a look over to our right, and we have Bobby Gill in the 06 car. They're going to try to beat the 44 off pit road. This is a battle for what was second place, and guess who's going to get it? The 66 will get out ahead of the 06 and possibly ahead of the 44 as well.
A lot of problems on the left front corner of the 06 car, but what about the pit stop from Benny Gordon's team?
Benny Gordon trying to rally here, trying to bag a victory at Myrtle Beach. All right, while we've got the opportunity, let's grab a tech tip. My buddy Scott Sutherland checking out K&N filters for us tonight.
Two biggest enemies of a race car engine, dirty oil and dirty air. K&N can help you with both. Good oil filter, good air filter. But the trick to racing is to be able to get the air into the engine and filter the dirt that's going to come with it. K&N does a great job, and I'll show you why. K&N uses a cotton-type material that's sprayed with a light coat of oil to trap out any of the dirt to get inside the engine. They also use a steel mesh on the inside as well as the outside to be able to hold the filter in place. Every K&N filter has a 1,000,000-mile warranty. K&N's been around for a long time. They build a great filter for a race car, but they also build a great filter for anything you want to drive.
K&N filters help make a lot of horsepower for these USAR Hooters Pro Cup teams. Chase Pistone and the Titan Industrial 03 will be the restart leader now. He'll line up in front of the 44 of Clay Rogers. Lap cars on the bottom. Now, Matt Carter had led laps earlier. He went a lap down because he stopped earlier than the leaders did. What about Pistone? Can he stay out there?
Pistone did not come in and get tires, and he's going to be overhauled, as they say.
Slips up to the high side. Rogers goes by to put the 44 back at the top of the leaderboard. The series points leader and the defending series champion Benny Gordon rolls to second spot now. Jeff Fultz right there in the 54, the CNC Boilers entry. And how about Johnny Rumley starting to rumble in the Junior Motorsports Chevy, the champion spark plugs car. He's got Woody Howard up alongside him in the Dean Motorsports entry.
Well, you can pretty much throw that time deal out now because everybody's on their own. They're going to run these things as hard as they can. Oh, no, the smoke.
Johnny Rumley dragging the brakes in the champion spark plugs entry, keeps it off the wall. Bobby Gill will come through on the bottom. So Gordon in front of Woody Howard now, but behind Jeff Fultz, and Clay Rogers taking off. Stephen Cox, what about Jeff Agnew's team? They're on a little different tire strategy.
Crew chief Doug Weddle for the 73 car of Jeff Agnew had kind of a sinister plot going here, guys. They decided that they were going to take 3 tires, then 3 more tires, then 2 more tires, but they said that the yellows didn't work right for them. The timing was off. So the last stop, they went ahead and took on their final remaining set of tires. They are now out. So what you see right now is prep for old tires in case they have to go back to another set, but they're out of fresh rubber.
And what they're doing is they're gluing up their best tires they have left. Therefore, if they have a flat, at least they've got something that can be halfway competitive. Woody Howard putting a lot of pressure on Benny Gordon right now.
Running in front of Bobby Gill in the USG sheetrock entry. Remember, Gill has led a lot of laps here this evening. Howard has yet to lead. Rumley in front of Joey Logano now. 49 to go. Single file racing for the moment. Benny Gordon's got time, but he's got a car separating him from the race leader. Fultz may have one of the fastest cars on the racetrack.
Jeff Fultz's car is very quick, but he's got to catch the 44 car. Ooh, a little contact with a wall back there. These guys are leaning on it as hard as they can.
Johnny Rumley may have brushed the wall coming off turn 2 last time by. Gordon continues to run third. Howard is fourth. Gill is fifth. Everybody chasing Clayton Rogers at Myrtle Beach Speedway. Oh, trouble. Car has spun. It's the 01 of Wayne Willard. The Bowen Family Homes Ford has gone around. 46 remaining, and if you didn't take tires last time, this is your last shot.
Well, and I think everybody did, unless you have to make an adjustment or maybe you can do something a little different. The one that really hates to see this has got to be the 44 car of Clay Rogers. He had a good gap. Now everybody's going to be packed up on top of it. They're going to have lap cars underneath them.
Well, Rogers will be the restart leader in the Johnny Suzuki Ford Fusion when we come back at Myrtle Beach. At Myrtle Beach Speedway with coverage of the Mark Brooks Memorial BiLo 250 presented by Black's Tire and Auto Service. Ivan Benjamin, Scott Sutherland is alongside. Stephen Cox patrolling pit road for us this evening. Laps winding down. The front row has reconvened at the head of the pack. Only this time Joey Logano is a lap down to Clay Rogers, the restart leader in the Johnny Suzuki car number 44. Jeff Fultz in second. Benny Gordon is third. Shelby Howard still trying to unlap himself on the inside. 41 to go and we're back underway. And Logano moves up the racetrack. They're trying to close the door on Fultz, but he can't get it done. Well, now he can. Logano settles in behind Rogers, and Fultz says, okay, I'll go to the bottom. Benny Gordon's hung up on the outside.
Whoa, whoa, whoa!
Oh, contact. Fultz got punted by Howard. Fultz keeps it going, though. Everybody on the brakes. Yellow will wave. Doesn't look like anybody hit anything, but it's our 11th caution of the night. 40 laps remaining. And Fultz trying to blend back in and not go a lap down and not lose track position to the leader. Here's another look.
Coming up off the corner, it was really tight. Oh, Logano backed off the gas just a little bit. Fultz got hit from behind by Shelby Howard. And wow, you're riding with Shelby Howard. Just a little bit of contact in the left rear. And around goes the 54 car.
Now you're in the middle of the corner like that. There's a big speed difference between the lap cars and the cars that are running out in front. I'm not sure that was anybody's fault. Let's check our Lucas Oil race recaps. John Anderson of BiLo waving the green flag to get us underway tonight. Joey Logano on the pole, Clay Rogers alongside. everybody away cleanly on lap 49, though. Jay Fogelman leading, Bobby Gill in second in the 06. Gill would dive to the bottom going into 3. Bobby Gill would take over for the first time tonight. Just 8 laps later, down into turn number 1, Clay Rogers and Michael Rich battling it out. And Rich would get to the inside of the 44 car and take the lead for his first time this evening. Lap 89, leaders come to pit road. Clay Rogers, Bobby Gill, Jeff Fultz all on pit road. Gary St. Amant there as well. And on lap 210, way past halfway, contact here. Shelby Howard gets into the back end of Jeff Fultz's entry, goes around, and brings out the caution. And that's your Lucas Oil race recap. Now Wayne Willard has brought the Bowen home 0-1 to pit road. He spun a moment ago. That thing is overheating big time, Scott.
Yeah, you can see that's where they have the vent tube from the radiator right there at the windshield. The driver can see if any water's coming out of it.
No question about it. Lots of water pouring out now of the 0-1. Clay Rogers will be the restart leader.
Welcome back to the Mark Brooks Memorial BiLo 250.
At Myrtle Beach Speedway, preparing for another restart. Your restart pole sitter, Clay Rogers, 35 laps to go. Benny Gordon right behind him in second spot. They power by Joey Logano's 51 car. Third belongs to Woody Howard. He is in front of Bobby Gill. You've got some fast race cars and some very capable drivers up front now to settle this thing tonight here at the beach.
Well, and you've kind of got these one-lap cars that are trying to get back on the lead lap. They're in the middle of this mix. Benny Gordon on the outside trying to put away Shelby Howard.
Rogers is still your leader. 3 wide back further in the field. Benny Gordon in front of Shelby Howard's machine. Gordon second. Shelby Howard is a lap down. Woody Howard in third position now in front of Bobby Gill. Scott, we're getting down to 30 laps to go tonight. It's about time to put your cards up on the table.
Well, Bobby Gill's got a lot of work to do. Woody Howard's got a fast race car, and Benny Gordon we know can get there. Steven, can you find his crew chief down there and ask him if he's got anything for the 44?
Scott, I've cornered him right here. Todd Gordon is the crew chief for the 66 car of Benny Gordon. Now tell me what you guys are doing throughout this race to try to get a good race car, because you got a good chance at this now.
Well, this Predator Performance Murray's Ford team, and they're doing real well. We're doing good as far as trying to keep Ben up front. We loosened the car up a little bit earlier on the first after we changed the first set of tires. Come back and went back to what we originally went on for this final run, and hopefully we'll be able to get some laps in here, because it seems like the car will come on a little bit better after we have laps.
Did the first adjustment not work the way you wanted it to?
Nah, I made the car a little bit slower on the overall. So right now you got to be able to use your throttle. You can't use the throttle, you're not going to get anywhere.
Well, that's a great assessment, because what happened, his race car was too tight. They loosened it up. Then he couldn't get in the throttle late in the run. They want something where he can get after it for the whole 50 laps.
Trying to get with Shelby Howard and the Lucas Oil Products camera inside the Speed Code Pontiac. Howard started last here tonight. He's running with the leaders, just not on the lead lap. Benny Gordon. Woody Howard locked in behind him there in the 55. Everyone gunning for Clay Rogers in the Johnny Suzuki Baird Transport 44. Championship leader. He's won 2 of the first 3 championship series races. Gordon, though, has a lot of success here at this racetrack. A little further back, there's Jeff Agnew in the Mark IV Honda, the 73 car. 65 of Danji Hannaford, and Michael Rich in his trademark spot up on the high side.
And Michael Rich had such a great race car right at the end of that last tire run. They had a bad pit stop, got him way behind, and now he's trying to make up for it on the outside.
Back battling for 10th and 11th spot with Agnew. Jody Lavender right there in the mix. They're behind Lonnie Rush in that white 71 car. Angie Hannaford of the Mack Hill Chevrolet, the 65 as well. Johnny Rumley now in the Junior Motorsports 80 Champion Spark Plugs entry. He's up in the top 6.
Jeff Fultz got back to 5th, then Rumley, Lavender, Jeff Agnew, Michael Rich, and Danji Hannaford hanging around there at 10th.
29 laps to go to settle things tonight at Myrtle Beach Speedway. Agnew trying to elbow his way by Jody Lavender. Agnew knows he's got a fast race car. They're on a different pit sequence. I don't know if he's got enough time to get back up there.
Well, what surprised me there was the 28 car, Michael Rich, going to the outside of them guys. Nobody's been able to go to the outside here tonight, and he's making it work up there, and I really don't know how.
I think Michael Rich missed his calling in racing. He should be a dirt track racer. He loves the high side. He'd be great at Eldora up on the cushion.
And I'm telling you, just driving the heck out of this thing, trying to get himself back into contention.
27 to go. Ray Rogers out in front. Hannaford's turned in a good run tonight in that Mack Hill Motorsports entry. Martin Riley, our Team Hooters Challenge winner tonight, he selected Jody Lavender as the driver he would like to see win. If Lavender closes the deal, Riley will head with him to victory lane a little later this evening. Ray Rogers, though, is definitely in control as we get close to the final 25 laps this evening. Rich in the 28, Hannaford in the 65, Lavender there in that blue number 84, the H&R Block entry. Now, Clay Rogers goes on to win here tonight, wins 3 in a row in the championship series. That'll all but clinch the title for him, and a minimum bonus of $200,000.
To win the championship, $200 grand. But you know what? He's still a racer, and he lives to win races or to drive a race car, and he's going to show up at every race the rest of the season to win them.
Joey Logano about to go a lap down again to Clay Rogers, perhaps. Logano on the pole here tonight. They've been chasing that car set up all evening long, and he is stuck back in 23rd position. Oh, trouble. Got a car in the wall. Oh. Big impact up in the corner. That is Mike Mason out of Bakersfield, California. Took over the Premier Motorsports Ford, the 8 car, the Awesome Awnings entry. He spun that machine up in turn 3 and backed it into the concrete. So Mason, the rookie contender, drove his family's car for much of the season on the South Tour. Got into the 8 car for the championship series. Another look.
Down into the corner. Tim Bainey underneath him. A little bit of contact. He didn't realize he was there. Tried to come to the bottom groove. And wow, up into the wall.
Mike Mason just about put that brake pedal through the firewall. Based on the tire smoke, we've got debris on the racetrack. And this will be a lengthy caution at Myrtle Beach Speedway. So everyone will get a chance to cool their tires. Mason on pit road. Track workers out on the speedway to pick up that piece of tubing. We will take the opportunity for a break and be back with more of the BiLo. Welcome back to Myrtle Beach Speedway. The Bowen Family Homes team, they've got the 0-1 on pit road. That car's been overheating for several laps now. And we're preparing for a restart. Clay Rogers and Benny Gordon with Woody Howard in third. Lap cars are on the inside. Shelby Howard will get one more chance to get back on the lead lap, it appears. 17 to go at Myrtle Beach Speedway. We're back underway.
Benny Gordon needs to clear the 20 car. He needs to stay in with the 44 to have an opportunity to win this race.
Wayne Willard back on the racetrack. They've cured the overheating problem in the 01, at least for now. He gets back out on the track in front of the leaders. He'll have to watch his mirrors and be careful. Woody Howard wants second. He goes up alongside Gordon. They make contact on the front stretch. Howard nearly loses it down into 1. Woody Howard in that Dean Motorsports Chevy almost went for a ride. Here comes Gill.
That was awesome. I don't know how he saved it, but hang on, Woody. That was a great job.
They say loose is fast, sometimes loose is scary, and that's the situation right here for many of these drivers. And the waning laps of the BiLo 250. Woody Howard trying to reel in Benny Gordon for second spot. Clay Rogers has said see ya to the field. Clay Rogers on his way to a $10,000 bonus at least for winning 3 championship series races if he can close the deal tonight at Myrtle Beach Speedway. Benny Gordon and Rogers, of course, have had their moments at this racetrack in championship series action over the last couple of seasons. Gordon is the defending champion of the Hooters Pro Cup Tour, but he probably will not repeat here in 2006. Woody Howard right back in on the deck lid of the Predator Performance 4. Bobby Gill is fourth in the 06.
I think Bobby Gill's got one of the better race cars on the racetrack. The problem he has now is time. I don't think he's going to have enough time. He can clear these 2. I don't know if he can catch the 44. We're going to need another caution in order for him to get in to be a player.
Well, we've had plenty of them tonight, and it certainly could happen. Andrew Rogers in that red car up in front. The Termidor Aaron's 18. Oh, Michael Rich!
No!
Michael Rich was rim riding in that 28 car. Spins it half sideways. Somehow the field scatters and doesn't hit him. 12 to go. We got our 13th caution of the night as Rich in the Jackaroo Meat Sauces Ford nearly buys a huge wreck Michelle Theriault spins the 45 car behind all of the action. One more look.
The 71, Lonnie Rush down in the corner. Not enough room for him and Michael Rich to occupy the same piece. Michael Rich gets it straightened up. How everybody missed him is a miracle.
Great driving by Michael Rich in the Jackaroo Meat Sauces car. Rogers will be the restart leader when we come back at Myrtle Beach. Welcome back. The Fatheads.com pace car dives for pit road. Handful of laps to go tonight. Clay Rogers, Benny Gordon will restart 1-2. Woody Howard in third. 4 laps remain to settle things in the Mark Brooks Memorial BiLo 250. Bobby Gill fourth, Jeff Fultz is fifth, and here we go. Rogers takes a high line down into 1. But he opens up 3 car lengths on Benny Gordon. Bobby Gill, meantime, trying to move by Woody Howard as quickly as he can, see if he's got anything for the leaders.
Clay Rogers making a wider turn into the corner. That allows more momentum through the middle. Get a better run off. Benny's trying to protect. Make sure the 55 can't get underneath him. It's so hard to race it out the windshield and the rear mirror at the same time.
Spotters are key here, as they are at most of the racetracks we visit. Gordon is still second. Woody Howard trying to get past him with the 55. A little bit of contact coming out of the corner there, it looked like. Clay Rogers has checked out. White flag in the air. They are slipping and sliding here at Myrtle Beach Speedway. Oh, contact. Jeff Fultz gets into the back end of Gill's car.
Gill was all the way sideways. He got it back up underneath him. Wow, how he saved it, I don't know.
Clay Rogers heading to the house, but there is contact. Couple of cars go around. Martin Nesbitt, Joey Logano, and Mike Herman. Caution on lap 250, our 14th yellow of the night, and the checkered flag not yet for Clay Rogers. So Benny Gordon will have one more shot. Mark Nesbitt in the ConstructionJobs.com Ford stopping against the inside wall, and the pace car is back on the speedway.
Martin Nesbitt and Joey Logano kind of finishes Joey Logano's day out, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It started out really great, but it went downhill from there. We got the white flag. That doesn't necessarily mean we're going to get the checker next time out. The caution came out, and you don't want to drive everybody through a wreck.
Well, the Hooters Pro Cup Championship Series moves to South Georgia Motorsports Park on November 11th for the 5th of 6 races in Cecil, Georgia, down near the Florida State line. Get your tickets. It's a 7 o'clock start. Our coverage will follow in a few days. And when you come to a Hooters Pro Cup event, stop by the merchandise trailer, pick up a t-shirt, a hat, something that supports your favorite driver on the USAR Hooters Pro Cup Tour. So we'll have a green-white checkered finish to settle things tonight in the Mark Brooks Memorial BiLo 250. Clay Rogers must be thinking, hey, what do I have to do to win this thing? Fatheads.com pace car pulls down one more time heading into turn 3. Rogers, Benny Gordon, Woody Howard, the top 3. Green, and then a white, and then a checker. 2 laps to settle things at Myrtle Beach. Bobby Gill lines up fourth. He may have a shot here.
I think Benny Gordon's got to get a great run on this start. He's got to get right up underneath him, and you got to make that wide corner going in to keep your momentum up.
Gordon in second spot. Stephen Cox, what do you see on pit road?
Rick, here in these last few moments, keep your eyes on the 55 car of Woody Howard and also the 66 of Benny Gordon. Those guys have been going at it tooth and nail for half the race. And I'll tell you, they've been talking through each other's team members and crew chiefs to each other. And the word is they're not going to give each other any space at all. They've already touched heavily twice here in the last few laps.
Woody Howard working over the back bumper of that Predator Performance Ford again, down into 3. Clay Rogers headed for the checkered flag unmolested. Woody Howard and Benny Gordon tangle out of 4. Howard alongside. Clay Rogers dirt tracks it to the win. Woody Howard tries to steal second at the line. Jeff Fultz's team very excited. They've got a top 5. There is the Johnny Suzuki bunch. Clay Rogers has won 3 in a row in the championship series. Clay Rogers, and Jeff Fultz gets into the side of the 66 car. And Gordon retaliates. What's this all about?
Well, we saw the 55 and the 66 on the racetrack. Now it's the 54 and the 66. And you can see some exchanges going on.
Now, Jeff Fultz had kind of roughed up Bobby Gill a couple of times. But this one is Benny Gordon and Jeff Fultz.
You see both these guys struggling to get out of the race car. Benny Gordon getting his belts undone. Meanwhile, Clay Rogers out here. This is like Groundhog Day. He wins another one.
Clay Rogers puts a hammerlock on the 2006 USAR Hooters Pro Cup Championship title by winning his 3rd consecutive Championship Series race. He earns a $10,000 bonus minimum, and now Benny Gordon wants a word with Fultz. Fultz's crew is there. One of the USAR officials is there. Oh! Fisticuffs break out. We went to a race and a hockey match broke out. Benny Gordon throws one of the Fultz crew members down on the hood of his car. Gordon's in this one all by himself. They're trying to separate the combatants. There's another driver in the mix.
You don't think drivers are tough? There's Benny Gordon.
And the 2004 title holder is one step closer to a 2006 Hooters Pro Cup National Championship. It's too early to count your chickens, but man, you sure made a statement tonight, Clay.
Well, I mean, this whole race team's made a statement in this championship series. I've never worked with somebody as smart as Blake on a consistent basis. I mean, man, he's just sharp. We didn't have the same setup tonight that we had when we won the race here in the spring. And I'm glad we didn't, because this was better. We changed some things around, and a little bit nervous, but the car unloaded great in practice. And so we didn't run much practice because we knew we couldn't do anything but mess it up. If we worked on it like we have 1,000 times down here. But, man, I'm just so pumped about the way this team's working together.
Clay Rogers is our Grease Lightning super strength performer. He leads 111 laps here at Myrtle Beach through 18 lead changes and a host of cautions. A great run for Clay Rogers. And now he opens up his lead even further in the USAR Hooters Pro Cup National Championship standings. Let's have a look at the final results here tonight. Rogers, Howard, and Gordon. Bobby Gill and Jeff Fultz, your top 5. Rumley, Danji Hannaford finishes 7th in front of Fogelman, A.J. Frank, and Jody Lavender. Gary St. Amant is 11th, Jeff Agnew and Trevor Bain, Jack Bailey and Derek Cale. Daniel Johnson rounds out the first 20. Shelby Howard gets credit for 21st in front of Lonnie Rush and Kirk Leone. Justin Hobgood settles for 24th in front of Michelle Theriault. Mike Mason, Mike Herman Jr. rounds out the top 30. Martin Nesbitt, Tim Bainey, and Andrew Rogers next. Marty Lindley, the first driver out. It was hand-to-hand combat. Woody Howard emerges with second. He's standing by with Steven.
There's a few scratches on the 55 bumper behind me. Woody, talk about that last lap. In fact, the last 3 or 4 laps, I was holding my breath.
Yeah, we were coming. We had some problems early in the race that put us back, to the back, and just was trying to run Benny clean there, and he was really stopping in the corner. So I just got into him a little bit to get underneath of him, and it was about, luckily we got him there at the line.
Well, the championship standings with a couple of races remain. Clay Rogers has moved to 191 points now in front of Woody Howard. Shelby Howard falls to 3rd. Benny Gordon 4th. Johnny Rumley rounds out the first 5. Then it's St. Amant, Shane Wallace, A.J. Frank, and Bobby Gill, and Jay Fogelman rounding out the top 10. But Clay Rogers has got this one by the throat with 2 races to go here in 2006. November 11th at South Georgia Motorsports Park, and the season finale 2 weeks later at USA International in Lakeland. We'll have the coverage for you right here just a couple of days later. The Aaron's Hart Charger Award to A.J. Frank. He picks up 25 spots tonight. Battled back from being a lap down. And our Miller Lite Rookie of the race, Jeff Fultz, comes home with the top 5 in the CNC Boilers entry. He started back in the 9th row tonight and picked up 13 spots. He's with Steven.
Jeff Fultz drove the wheels off the 54 car tonight, was the highest finishing rookie, but it took you a while to get there. I mean, you had a couple of slow spots during the race tonight, too, with traffic.
Yeah, I mean, we started 18th, so it made it a pretty long night. But the car worked real good. The guys kept me calm. We worked up through there, and we had to just take care of your tires. This place is so hard on tires. But, we've been in such a slump lately. 5 weeks in a row we broke. And, we got to second and had a heck of a run going there and was going to try to heavily go after Clay. He had such a good car, but we had a short run to get him if we could. And so we made a run at him, and then we got turned around, and that put us back. We luckily saved it and still ended up, getting back to 5th.
Now let's have a look at what happened after the race. So maybe a little mistaken identity here?
Fultz must have thought that Benny Gordon had turned him, and in case it was the 20 car, Shelby Howard, that got into the back, and when there was tight quarters races, he would run second. I understand his frustration. Here you take a look at it. Logano was in the middle of that. They had to back up just a little bit. He got turned around, but you know what? You still can't have that kind of stuff down on pit road.
Well, the emotions run high in short track stock car racing, and when there's a total of almost $4.5 million on the line over the course of a season like there is at the USAR Hooters Pro Cup Series, that adds an element of drama everywhere we go. Next up, of course, in a couple of weeks, South Georgia Motorsports Park. Clay Rogers will try to clinch the championship in 2006. And, of course, we'll have the TV coverage for you a couple of days later right here. As always, the motorsports news you need 24/7, available at speedtv.com. And all the USAR information you need at usarprocup.com, the official series website. Our in-car cameras come from our friends at Onboard Images. At-track communications provided by the good folks at Racing Electronics. And our at-track transportation is courtesy of Club Car. iCard is the official timing and scoring provider for the USAR Hooters Pro Cup Series. For Scott Sutherland and Stephen Cox, I'm Rick Benjamin congratulating our winner. Clay Rogers has won 3 in a row. We'll see you next time.